I think it has a very simple answer from me. It's love for the loved ones and many times multiplied back by them. And when you are loved or you love some people, then you are never in solitude. Even to talk about a fortress, it is also not built out of just one brick, but many bricks. And my family, my friends, obviously the true ones, uh, my other loved ones, so they are those bricks in my fortress who really help me wade through difficult times, and they fortify me against any mental health issues. I think it is unnecessarily made complicated in today's world. Many talk about it, but in reality, they lack the sensitivity to deal with it. I mean, it's simply how you feel on a day-to-day basis, how you enjoy your happinesses, or how you cope with your problems. Are you able to handle your problems in your life, or do you crumble down under the pressure of it? Do you feel lonely most of the time and find nobody to confide with about the problems that you have, or do you know that there is always a shoulder to lean on, get support, who would hear you out, who would listen to your problems, lend some pieces of advice? If not, they would at least say that they are by your side, and in case you need any help, they are there. So this basic state of mind one is in shows either they are in a good state, or they are at the point of breaking down mentally, or they have already broken down. So that is what mental health is to me. Yep, I find my own ways to keep my mental health issues at bay. Uh, sometimes trying too hard not to think about something is actually uh, by doing that, actually you are forcing yourself to keep reminded about that thing every moment. I mean, you try to think that I'll not think about it, and by doing that you are actually telling inside your head that that there is a thing and you don't want to think about it, but the thing comes back to you. uh, so I think the best way to avoid thinking about a problem or not to get stressed by it, uh, you have to start thinking about something else that gives you happiness, or that keeps your mind engaged in a positive way. So uh, I try to do that, and I love to daydream. That does two things to me. It helps me fantasize, imagine, be creative as an author, and it helps me uh, think of positive things. Like I'm not plagued by negative thoughts anymore. If I have a problem, I try to fantasize how I'm winning over those problems. So that is that is what helps me. uh, yeah, I think I have partly answered that question already. So as I said, daydreaming is one. It helps me unwind immensely. uh, it is also important as an author to be imaginative, to daydream, to fantasize. There are a few other things that I normally follow to not put myself into stressful or issues of mental health. So observe and listen everything, but don't hold on to anything. uh, be caring towards people, but don't get bothered by their indifference. To be able to let few things go off, that may include people, anger, pride, greed, lust for spotlight, counter love. So if you love somebody, don't expect love in return. That also is a big reason of stress and mental health. Sometimes we even long for appreciation, and if we don't get it, that also affects us adversely. So if we try to let a few things go off, I think that starts working towards positive direction for our mental health. I mean, the list could be long or short for each individual. So sometimes it is important to put yourself even out of a particular problem, sit as an audience. uh, so being consumed by the problem, you won't find a solution. You would find yourself drowning more inside it. So put yourself out of the situation, see it from a different perspective. You might find solution to it. And even it is good as an author for me to see it from outside. I mean, I really don't see these important two things in my life as two balls to be juggled uh, in my hands. Rather, I see them as two shoes on my feet that gives me comfort. So I get comforted by doing both the things. One feeds me, feeds my body, feeds my loved ones, and the other one I do for the love of it. So it feeds my soul and satisfaction. So earlier there were families which were united, societies which were cohesive, people were sensitive towards each other. We we had not faced so many problems in earlier days. But nowadays the societies have become very nuclear, incompassionate. So families have become dysfunctional, broken. So I think going to a professional for help is fine. I'm not against it. I support it. But I think the first step should be to work towards the families which are broken now, the societies, the neighborhoods. So create more sensitivity around yourself, that you deal with every person with more sensitivity. I think that is required very much in today's world. That would at the first place try to create a situation where we have lesser mental health issues. So I think that is a stepping stone. Certainly I do, but as I said, I also like keeping things very simple. The families should be the first line of defense against any kind of mental health issues that might arise in someone. uh, mm, I mean, if people around me are sensitive enough and then they don't push me by their incompassion, by their lack of sensitivity to the brink of really getting broken down mentally, I think I'm already far away from the problem. But yes, if somebody has already reached that brink, I think he or she should visit a professional. And I'm not I should say that one should not be really worried about what the world is going to think about if I'm going to visit a mental health advisor or a psychotherapist, because I mean, if I'm going to be worried about what the world says, the world is not going to come and solve my problem. I mean, as it is said that the first step to solve a problem is to identify there is one, and the second step obviously is to admit that I need help, and to get it from a professional. I mean, I don't see a harm. That rather saves your life, saves your future, saves people around you, rather than jeopardizing, I mean, everything in your life, including yourself. So for help, you need to reach out where you get one from. That is a tough question to answer, because I have not found myself in those shoes yet. But if I have to, then I'll consider this. As somebody said, that there is not a story left that is not told yet. So that means every story, I mean, every possible story is told already. But what makes all difference with the new story that comes is how it is differently said. So I would look for those places or those things which are said or told in a story differently or in a new way. So that would be my criteria to really separate out a good story from all the submissions.